families and guests of the Brentsville District High School class of 2024. Continuing in the Brentsville District High School tradition, we have planned a dignified ceremony that reflects the esteem with which we hold our students. We want to create a positive and respectful atmosphere for the graduates, their families, and their friends. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. We ask that you silence your cell phones and other devices. To ensure equal recognition for each graduate, we also request that you remain in your seats for the entire ceremony and refrain from making excessive noise to ensure each family can hear their graduate's name. Use of still cameras and video cameras is expected and allowed. However, attendees should only film from their seats. Videography of the class of 2024 graduation will be made available and a link to the recording shared in just a few days. I want to thank you for joining us on this very special occasion. Congratulations to you, the families, and the friends of our 2024 graduates. Please stand now to honor the Brentsville District High School's graduating class of 2024. Thank you. Please remain standing and remove your hats as Senior Class President Addison Butler leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Then the national anthem will be played and signed by seniors Evelyn Juarez Ledesma, Isabella Lane, and Grace Marcilio.
The JROTC Color Guard from Unity Reed High School will present the colors. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please have a seat and enjoy our vocal ensemble's performance of One Last Song by the Benders, arranged by Garrett Breeze.
Thank you. I'm Principal Catherine Meintz, and on behalf of the class of 2024 and the faculty and staff of Brentsville District High School, it is my pleasure to welcome family and friends to the 2024 commencement ceremony. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce those distinguished guests who have joined us today. Delegate Ian Lovejoy, Virginia House of Delegates, 22nd District. The Honorable Amy Ashworth, Prince William County Commonwealth's Attorney. Mrs. Erica Tredinnick, Brentsville District, Prince William County School Board. Mr. Tom Gordy, Brentsville District, Prince William Board of County Supervisors. Dr. Stephanie Sullivan, Associate Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Prince William County Public Schools. Mr. Keith Wolf, Associate Superintendent for High Schools, Prince William County Public Schools. Class of 2024, I want you to take a deep breath and look around. Be mindful of your presence here today and this occasion so you can commit your graduation to memory. Enjoy every moment of this ceremony, an important milestone in your life's journey. Once again, it is my pleasure to introduce the president of the class of 2024, Addison Butler.
Thank you, Dr. Meintz. Graduates, family members, Brentsville staff, and distinguished guests, welcome. On behalf of the class of 2024, I'd like to thank all the families, faculty members, and friends who helped us get here today. It is my honor to be part of this very special occasion today as we celebrate the accomplishments of Brentsville's class of 2024. If I'm being completely honest, I'm a little bit terrified right now. Not only because I'm up here talking in front of all of you, but also because this day marks the bittersweet end of our childhood. When I was younger, the first time I felt truly terrified was my first flight on an airplane. I had to leave my safe, familiar place on solid ground for the first time, and I had a fear of falling. Although I'll always remember how scared I was that day, I've decided that today is scarier in a million different ways, because we will be saying goodbye to every familiar thing about our current lives, and we now must discover new ways to view the world, achieve success, and find our individuality. A few short years ago, we took off from the familiarity of our childhood on our first airborne adventure as freshmen in high school. In that first year, we had to fight against the wind. To reach greater heights, we experienced turbulence, and we had to adapt to the shifting wind patterns, which felt never-ending at times. But, as Henry Ford stated, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Sometimes, to do the unimaginable, you must first fight through the obstacles in your way. My time here at Brentsville taught me to push past those obstacles and make the most of every moment, especially because I never knew when something would be the last time I would experience it here. I mean, think about all the spirit days we won't get to plan for, all the game day traditions and team dinners we won't be here for, all the new schedules we won't get to compare, all the lab partners we won't get to laugh with for hours, and all the trash talking we won't receive from Balt, saying he can beat us at our first sport, which, no matter what it is, he probably could without even blinking an eye. I had the time of my life with all of you, and even though in the future we won't remember the exact jokes we made after winning our biggest games or while we were trying to distract ourselves from worrying about Mr. Wonders or Miss Witt's class, we'll always remember the way we laughed together like little kids. Today, we're landing on our final runway, and it will be over before we know it. As we pull into taxi and celebrate all we've achieved in our time here, it's hard not to find it all a little bittersweet as we move on from the last 13 years of our lives and all the people who've shaped our lives forever. From friends who've inspired us to teachers who've been our mentors and role models. For me, thank you to my parents and Barrett, and most of all, Zoe, for always keeping me grounded when I needed to be. You've all made the world less scary just by being in it with me. Brentsville has helped make us who we are, but now it's up to us to grow into who we want to be. Keep looking for new adventures. You will make new memories, but hold on to the ones you have, too. Overall, thanks for being a class that I am proud to graduate with, and I wish every one of you success with all your wildest dreams. Wherever you set off next, there may be turbulence, but if anyone can conquer that, we can. Thank you all, and congratulations. May the rest of your lives be nothing short of spectacular.
Class of 2024, I am honored to celebrate this accomplishment with each of you. Honestly, when you were freshmen, I don't think any of us knew exactly how we would get to this moment or how it would look. We just knew it was the goal. Reflecting on this, I was reminded of a line from the movie Shakespeare in Love. When the character Hugh Fennyman is asked how it is that the production of Romeo and Juliet will just turn out well, Mr. Fennyman responds, "I don't know, it's a mystery." I used available resources to remind myself what led to this line in the movie. The short version is the producer of Shakespeare's play, Mr. Fennyman, states the natural condition of the theater business is one of insurmountable obstacles on the road to imminent disaster. When asked what should be done to avoid this disaster, Mr. Fennyman says nothing. It will just all work out. Well, how, he is asked, to which Mr. Fennyman replies, "I don't know, it's a mystery." How each class and each student will arrive at this moment is always a mystery in the beginning, because every class and every person is different. This was your journey. And here you are, each of you, but it is not because you did nothing. You persevered from a freshman year of virtual courses, mixed recordings to produce concerts, submitting photographs of artwork through Canvas, and shortened athletic seasons, to a senior year filled with various academic and extracurricular accolades. Academically, you modeled for your peers and underclassmen what it means to strive for academic excellence. Various examples of academic leaders include the following. Would our 24 cum laude recipients please stand? Congratulations, please be seated. Would our 24 magna cum laude recipients please stand? Congratulations, please be seated. Would our 48 summa cum laude recipients please stand? Congratulations, please be seated. Would our 6 Cambridge diploma candidates please stand? And now seniors, if you took an AS, stay standing you 6. Seniors, if you took an AS or A-level Cambridge course, please stand. Thank you and congratulations, please be seated. If you are an agriculture program completer, please stand. Under the leadership of these folks, the program earned National Field Awards and a National FFA Gold Star recognition. Congratulations. Would our 3 Governor's School graduates please stand? These students are graduates of the only governor's school in the state directly affiliated with a state university, specifically George Mason. Congratulations, please be seated. With your leadership, 2 4-person teams placed in the top 3 at the region, I can't say this word, anatomage tournament. Did I say right? It's anatomy with age at the end. It's been bugging me for a month. And one of those teams is actually right now in Las Vegas competing in nationals. Your musicianship led to jazz band selection to perform at various venues, including the Prince William County Retirement Ceremony. You've been selected for various honor ensembles and choirs and earned superior and excellent ratings at spring solo, small group, and ensemble assessments. Athletically, you helped start field hockey and bowling teams. This year, you led teammates to regional championships in cheer, football, wrestling, baseball, girls soccer, and for the first time in the school's history, girls basketball. During your tenure as a Tiger, you've been to the state football semifinals 3 times, the girls' state basketball semifinals, and helped earn state titles in both soccer and cheer. You've also set numerous school records in track and field. Your senior class was offered over $5.7 million in scholarships and accepted over $2.5 million. We've congratulated you as you made decisions to join the workforce, further your education, or enlist in the military service. At this time, would the members of the class of 2024 who will be serving in the military please stand? I also invite current retired servicemen and women in our audience to stand. Thank you all for your service. The class of 2024 has done so much of which we are proud, but it is the subtler moments with you, the ones that aren't in the morning announcements or shared in the community emails, that we will cherish. Here are several examples. Your freshman year, you interviewed me for a paper about changes in how we would report class standing. When you concluded your research, you better understood how hard many students work to be a graduate and realized what you really wanted to do was be a leader, help make high school a place where your classmates thrived, and perhaps speak at graduation. A leader you've been, and you spoke tonight at graduation. I will remember that you could balance completing chemistry classwork while creating incredible sketches and are a talented thespian, as was evidenced in your role as Jay, the imaginary friend. Your sophomore year, you let loose at the homecoming dance. I noted how much fun you seemed to be having, and you said, "Oh, well, I've just recovered from a knee injury." To this day, we all love to see the spirit you show on the dance floor. You suffered an injury in our journey to the playoffs and kept telling us and your parents you wanted to go back in, even though it was clear you were struggling to walk. And given all your accomplishments, we're most proud of the support you provided to your team and the support and guidance you provided to the teammate who had to fill your shoes. I looked forward to every email I received from the two of you. The messages were always filled with ideas about celebrations in which to involve our community to celebrate each voice at Brentsville. And the leaders of the Diverse Student Union created so many memories for all of us at the first International Night. I can still hear you rehearsing lines for the play on the train to DC as we headed to see Little Shop of Horrors. I'm not at all surprised you were selected to be homecoming queen. You are bright, caring, and devoted to your classmates, as I witnessed firsthand when I asked for you to use your math prowess and Spanish-speaking abilities to help a fellow student. You and your sister came to Brentsville this year, and all of us took note of how much you looked out for your younger sister. And I was so glad to hear you say today you felt invigorated as you thought about this milestone and what was next in your life. Normally reserved and quiet, you came to life when you sang Vanilla Ice Cream. The song fit you so well, and it was a joy to watch you perform. You came to me with a concern for a friend this fall, and I honestly believe your action saved his life. In this last week, we were able to tell a handful of you who worked so incredibly hard in the face of incredible adversity that you passed your last required test or class and were officially a graduate. The joyous tears, hugs, and quick requests to tell the teacher who helped you or your parents will never be forgotten. Every staff member will tell you that you have one of the best smiles in the building, and you are always wearing it. This made you an incredible asset as a front office aide as parents and guests arrived. You learned that when coordinating student halftime events for the football game, it does actually pay off to talk to administration. Thank you for your collaboration. The trumpet and sax solos you played with the marching band were incredible, as were the improv solos with the jazz band. Also, the number of instruments you've learned to play as a high school student is astounding. And as one of you knows, I'm happy to listen to you play the piano all day long. I said to one of you this spring, I felt like I was seeing you everywhere this year, various events, in the hallway all the time. You responded, "Oh, well, I decided in my senior year to really be more involved." For the record, I am so glad you did and that I've been able to get to know you a bit better, and you made a great MC at International Night. You sang "God Help the Outcast" at the senior recital, your full, rich voice coming through. Your performance was incredibly beautiful and moving. You constantly amaze me with the quickness at which you can solve your most recently purchased Rubik's Cube. Several of us noticed that you went across the football field to talk to an injured player who was a senior on the opposing team after we won the playoff game, to congratulate him on a good game, a good season, and to wish him the best. Again, my deepest respect to you. We all know you play a mean bass guitar, but I learned recently in the yearbook and at a senior concert how much you love history. I've actually challenged you to become the next Mr. Wonders. We've all heard the saying, "Dance like no one is watching," and you do. Every day at the end of D-Lunch, as you listen to your music, you jump and dance, which always brings a smile to those who see you, and impressively, several I can tell are considering joining. You are some of the most polite sisters I've ever met, to include a small introduction of yourselves every time you email me, yet I know exactly who you both are. You are the girls who volunteer to help with laptop distribution, who stop in advisory classes and offer academic assistance, and to whom I spoke several times as you sat on the lobby bench waiting for your ride home. I will remember the words of wisdom you wanted to share with your classmates in your proposed speeches. One was a line from a great movie titled A Bronx Tale. The line is, "Remember, the saddest thing in life is wasted talent." I'm sure if you ask any adult here, they will agree with this sentiment. One of you who did not waste her talent was our 3-time girls state wrestling champion. For the record, that's only because they didn't have it her freshman year. And yet, what I will remember is the match you won in front of the student body. You are always humble and reserved, but for the first and only time, we saw you really smile and puff up the crowd after your win. With reason, of course, because you are also very respectful. Please know we all believe you deserve to have that moment. Another one of your speeches emphasized that you cannot reach your greatest potential without failing or struggling some at first. When I read this in your speech, I was not surprised, as I've heard several conversations between you and your parents. They always start with, "You did well, we're so proud of you." And within a few minutes, you naturally transition the conversation into what you learned that could help you do better. This is also why you were an asset on the school advisory council, always pushing us to be and do better. 2 of you moved from marching band to football this year, and as much as I miss seeing you perform in the marching band, I love seeing your smiles during games and the bonds you formed with the members of the football team. I always say hi to you in the hallway, and you do look up and say hi, but often you're listening to your music and your eyes are down, and it's hard to get your attention. This is why I love to see you on the dance team and as a member of the choir. You simply shine because you enjoy every moment of performing. Basketball has always been your game, and you've worked hard to get better and make the team better. And yet, you tried track this spring and found a new passion as you learned you're a great runner and now are considering that as something you'll do in college. Another of you decided to move from marching band to help start our field hockey program. We have so enjoyed watching this team become popular and all the effort you've given to get this program running. There was the moment you won your wrestling match, clinching that the Brentsville District Baker's Dozen would all be headed to the state tournament. Ever the sportsman, as your teammates celebrated, you not only shook hands with your opponent and the coaches, you also went back to your opponent who was limping to make sure he was okay and had a short conversation with him, telling him he had wrestled really well. Only then did you go and scoop up your coach and start celebrating with your teammates. You and I shared stressed looks as we watched the game in front of us, and you came over to talk and handed me your pom-poms so I could better cheer on the Tigers. Later in the year, following my big lesson for you all, which is to be an advocate for yourself and others, you advocated for me, telling your coach that I really should have my own pom-poms. I just want to say thank you. I am ready for next season. I will remember and forever be thankful that your class helped start a new tradition at pep rallies during class competitions. From faking slumber to pointing at imaginary objects, you made me smile. In honor of your efforts during pep rallies, and as having at least one speaker enlist crowd participation at graduation is a moral imperative, your parents and community have a gift and a reminder for you. Parents and guests, at this time, if you would please get out that little piece of paper you were handed as you entered, and join me in the Tiger version of our de facto school song, Country Roads. Everybody ready? Country roads bring you home to the place you belong. Brentsville District, Tiger family, bring you home. Country roads. Thank you. Thank you so much for the memories, and congratulations, class of 2024. Two speakers are chosen for our commencement ceremony. The first speaker is a staff member chosen by the senior class. It is my pleasure to invite to the podium the staff member selected by the class of 2024, Miss Tracy Liu.
Thank you, administration, dignitaries, families, and colleagues. And thank you, most of all, class of 2024, for giving me this opportunity. When Dr. Mind shared that I would be the faculty speaker for this year's commencement ceremony, I was exceedingly flattered, but immediately filled with an overwhelming imposter syndrome. I mean, what could I, someone whose main accomplishment in life is amassing an encyclopedic knowledge of 90s song lyrics, possibly share with the future of the world. But then my old pal delusion reared its ugly head, and I foolishly thought, you got this. But travel back with me to last Friday. I was sitting at my computer, the blank screen mocking me and triggering a writer's block so powerful that I was soon reduced to a dazed and drooling shell of a human being. I mean, what can be said that hasn't already been said 1,000 different times by people far more eloquent than me? I could feel the doubt and panic start to overtake me, and suddenly I was at a crossroads. I could quit, and almost no one would know the difference, or I could face my biggest fear head on. And that's when that ancient British proverb coined by the notorious wordsmiths, Chumbawamba, echoed in my head. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You ain't never gonna keep me down. So, no turning back now. Let's do this. For you, class of 2024, I created Lou's Fortune Cookie Wisdoms. Number 1, make your own decisions. Decide for yourself, and don't just take the word of whoever is holding the microphone. Listen openly and honestly, and then follow that moral compass in each of you when making every decision that will shape the adult you become. Number 2, when you're a kid, you're a little bit of everything. Athlete, artist, scholar, musician, inventor, entrepreneur. Too often, growing up is the process of letting go of these versions of yourself slowly and one at a time. But hold on to those dreams for as long as you can, and always look for the fun and funny. It'll get you through the lows of life. And speaking of that, number 3, embrace the lows, embrace the struggles, the discomfort and hardships life chucks at you. Ooh, that's the good stuff. Without all that glorious suffering, how will you ever know when you're sublimely happy? And you will be when you come through the suffering on the other side. That part is so worth it. And finally, number 4, when you're making up your bed, it's helpful to put as many fitted sheets on the mattress as you've got. Then, when it's inevitably time to change your sheets, all you have to do is peel that top one off. Work smarter, not harder. Am I right, people? Okay. My legal team has advised me to read this next part. I cannot be held personally, financially, or legally responsible for the consequences of any actions taken on the basis of this advice. And I did warn you with bullet point 1, make your own choices. Okay. The sheet thing, though, for real, total game changer. Okay. The path ahead of you is varied, but everyone here is undoubtedly feeling a mix of excitement, trepidation, anxiousness, and anticipation. If the doubts ever start to creep in, remember all that you've accomplished already. You are the class that started high school doing something we've never asked 14-year-olds or anyone else, for that matter, to do, and that is to learn virtually through a computer screen. No one knew what that would look like, and no one knew what they were doing, but you did it. The next year, we were back navigating the climate-controlled halls of old BDHS, masked up, attempting to learn chemistry and Spanish and choir through the muffled speech of M95 masks and deciphering the subtle meaning of different eyebrow movements. But you crushed that too and lived to fight other battles. SOLs, SATs, STAR tests, Cambridge tests, AP tests, Mr. Wonders class, tardy sweeps, metal detectors, all while resisting the allure of the forbidden vending machines. And an elite handful of you can even boast a victory or two over Balt. That's something. This is to say nothing of the personal accomplishments, big and small, you've achieved, and all the obstacles you've had to overcome. Oh, and of course, before I forget, a big, huge shout out to the regional championship baseball team and girls soccer teams. Good luck at states. But regardless of how you got here, you each did, and it certainly wasn't easy for any of you. So, now, right now, this moment, before the chaos of celebration begins, take a moment and breathe. Look around and make mental pictures that will live longer than this moment and this day. And lastly, turn around and give your biggest fans back there a wave and a shout out. Go on. Dap them up. Because what you've accomplished, no one here did this on their own. This moment and you are a big deal. Congratulations, class of 2024. You did it.
The second speaker was chosen from among the senior class. Every senior was invited to submit a speech. Names were removed from the speeches and a panel of staff members read the submissions and selected a speaker. I am proud to introduce the speaker from the class of 2024, Emily Sherman.
Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the ceremony so far, and that my peers are soaking in the last few moments of being high schoolers, as I am doing. I want to begin this speech by thanking all of you here. Thank you to the Brentsville faculty and staff, and to our families and friends for supporting us through the years and putting their best effort into making our graduation special. Thank you to my classmates for an amazing 4 years of high school, including the first year online, and for making a fantastic impact on this school. My final thanks, and the main point of my speech, is to the Brentsville community. Brentsville is different from other Prince William County schools because one of the biggest things we value here is the community we foster. Some may say it is easy for a tight-knit community to form because of our small size. Still, what Brentsville does with this community makes it so unique. This community creates a welcoming, supporting, and loving environment for all its students and teachers. When I entered high school, I was extremely nervous. I came from a small private school and knew barely anyone at Brentsville. I was an outsider surrounded by people who had grown up together. My biggest fear was that I would not belong or find my place. All of this, however, was proven wrong. My classmates were so welcoming and kind to me that I was taken aback my sophomore year. I remember having no idea who to sit with as I walked into English on the first day in the building. A group of girls ushered me over to sit with them, and I was quickly introduced to 4 amazing girls who would all become dear friends. They made me feel welcome, and my nerves were immediately calmed. This experience happened numerous times at Brentsville whenever I met new people. I was met with such welcomingness, and I strive to do the same when I met new students. This community is defined by the emphasis it puts on being welcoming. Without an open mind and open arms, a community can never fully prosper and grow to be one that achieves excellence. As the class of 2024 entered high school, we also noted an emphasis on support. This support is manifested through caring relationships, which are evident in personal relationships, academics, and athletics. Students are supported on their own personal journeys through life. I imagine at bigger schools, it is hard for all the teachers to honestly know all their students and form a personal relationship with them. This is not the case at Brentsville, which is my favorite thing about this school. Teachers strive to make connections and get to know the students they are teaching. They are incredibly caring and treat us as though we are their children, supporting us both in and out of the classroom. I can assume that many of my fellow peers in the audience will miss the daily chats with our favorite teachers who made us feel like adults, or yearn for the last playful banter with a teacher who directly impacted us. Personally, I will miss my daily loving chats with Mrs. Kearns, our college and career counselor, and then the sarcastic replies that I would throw at Mr. Kearns as he walked into her office and I left to go to class. This support and care also guided us through the college application process to find our new home for the next 2 or 4 years, or to find the post-secondary pathway we want to follow. This community supported our every decision and reminded us there would always be a place to call home in Nokesville. The support of Brentsville also helped us achieve things athletically we can brag about, such as a state title for women's soccer, regional champions 3 years in a row in state appearances for football, a 3-time state champion in women's wrestling, the addition of a field hockey program, and many other achievements from the excellent sports teams and athletes at Brentsville. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Regarding the teachers at Brentsville, this quote is the most applicable. I had never experienced such personal, positive, and caring connections with teachers until I attended Brentsville. These connections made me actively engaged in my education and passionate about learning, and they made me a better person, both personally and academically. The love my fellow peers and I have received from the teachers here is so immense that there are not enough words to describe it. We will be forever grateful for the teachers here at Brentsville. The connections made, laughs shared, and lessons taught will never be forgotten as we venture off the path we have followed at Brentsville and start our own way. Overall, the class of 2024 could not have asked for a better community to support them, and I wouldn't change this community for the world. Attending Brentsville District High School and immersing myself in its community through academics, leadership positions, and athletics was my best decision. This community has welcomed, supported, and loved me and my fellow seniors. While the class of 2024 missed one in-person year of this fantastic community, it was quickly made up, and we have never felt we missed out. We got the Brentsville District High School experience in the best way possible, and we conclude this experience with the full strength of the Brentsville community in our hearts and minds. Thank you all for allowing me the honor to speak tonight, and congratulations to the class of 2024 as we embark on a new journey in life.
Nice job. Very well done. This year, Brentsville was again fortunate to welcome foreign exchange students. These students have helped us better understand what it means to be a citizen of the world and appreciate what it means to be part of a global society. It is my pleasure to introduce the honorary members of the class of 2024. Berta Rivera Osas from Spain. And Lucia Oliveira Resco from Spain. I'll share with you while they're getting those, they said they're not ready to go back, that they love their experience here so much, and their favorite thing was yearbook, and if you haven't seen the yearbook, they helped lead that and did a great job. Before we award the diplomas, I have one request. This is, again, a once-in-a-lifetime moment for each student and their family and guests. Enjoy this moment with our graduates, helping us ensure each and every student and their family and guests hear the student's name being called to receive their diploma. Assisting me with the presentation of diplomas are administrators Mr. Carbo, Mr. Klein, Mrs. Salas, and teacher Mrs. Bennett. Class of 2024, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Dart Curley. Virginia Catherine Pugh. Zachary Abano. Emma Stellar Abbott. Muhammad Ahmed. Luke Harris Albright. Emma Elizabeth Aldine. Caleb Tom Elijah Alexander. Patrick Jensen Anderson. Rocio Yamileth Angel Cornejo. Isa Anwar. Maxwell Vincent Apiza. Ellie Lee Ashbrook. Emily Asor Asiama, Hajar Sadiqwa Atai, Alex Young Bay, Ansley Bree Barefoot, Donovan Jeffrey Bennett, Catherine Lee Benstead, Jeremy Mason Bowley, Hayden Boyd, Desiree Catherine Brock, Emma Ashton Brock, Wyatt William Brudvig, Addison Amelia Butler, Noah Gabriel Callahan, Aileen Campos Aviles, Sean Cassidy, Bryson Joseph Cheney, Benjamin Patrick Coleman, Taya Marie Cornett, Lillian Crawford, Anthony Cruz, Jack Robinson Cundiff, Gabriella Elizabeth Cotillo, May Elizabeth Kyler, Shania Jasmine Dade, Isabel Dashkalovich, Gavin Grant Dean, Jason Dean, Melania Grace Daring, Tiffany Yasmin Del Cid, Amran Mustafa Dijama, Brittany Ann Dotson, Wyatt Dye, Rachel Marie Edwards, Presley Ann Elliott, Marlon Escobar Mieja, Patricio Farias, Molly Elizabeth Felder, Rayanne Miko Suarez Ferrer, Oscar Samuel Ferrofino, Mia Jessica Abelos Fisher, Jackson Robert Fleischhauer, Blake Austin Fletcher, Riley French, Elizabeth Rose Funderburg, Johnny Guyton, Mackenzie Ann Gallahue, Cole David Gardzell, Kylie Denise Gardzell, Caroline Marie Gaynard, Joseph Patrick Given, Zoe Christine Glessner, Nicole Elizabeth Goodwin, Derek Gray, Nia Lillian Gray, Trent Javier Hannon Urrutia, Sebastian Thomas Hansford, Austin Gabriel Harris, Sophia Grace Harris, Avery Amelia Harshberger, Griffin Taylor Hart, Gunnar Landry Hart, Trent Hayes, Julian Martin Henderson, Madison Riley Harold, Travis Hurt, Brianna Hernandez, Victor Hernandez Reyes, Trinity Rochelle Hess, Emmett Nkose Howard, Madeline Grace Howells, Morgan Hutchison, Hassan Imran, Julia Elaine James, Bradley Tyler Janes, Lexi Ferguson Johnson, Lucas Overton Johnson,
Trent Johnson. Jaden Joseph Jones. Evelyn Giselle Juarez Ledesma. Jason Judd. Ethan David Yerk. Caitlin Renee Kenworthy. Caleb Hyunsu Kim. Abigail King. Fletcher James King. Eric Ashworth Kotlowski. Elaine Kruger Morgan. Isabel Rose Lane. Ryder Hopkin Latona. Jamie Claire Legg. Jalen Sienna Lassane. Noah Robert Lester. Connor Linney. Sophie Adela Lineza. John Edward Lucas. Austin Jeffrey Lukash. Emily Lund. Connor Lyle. Reagan Carey Maddox. Reed Mahoney. Mercury Shea Butterfly Major. Evelyn Ruby Maldonado Galeana. Gabrielle Elise Malone. Grace Marcilio. Kamaya Kiel McClellan. Luciano Francesco Martinez. Aiden Keith McClung. Elizabeth Aileen McCool. Peyton Elizabeth McGovern. Mason McKendrick. Colton Aaron McCroy. Madison Jean McVicker. Kiana Jewel Mahio Krieger. David Edward Mintz. Alan Messick. Mary Catherine Mills. Ava Grace Moeller. Ehsan Momad. Charles James Monfort. Ashley Monroy Alvarez. Preston Stephen Moody. Macy Rose Moore. Chase Jared Moses. Madison Riley Murphy. Brendan Nitz. Hannah Michelle Newpin. Gavin Olinger. Jack Everett Olmsted. Nico Francis Orlando. Waylon Orr. Jesus Diego Ortiz. Riley Grace Osborne. Daisy Paradise Ruiz. Joshua Parton. Aiden Corey Partridge. Devra Elizabeth Peregrina Sanchez. Camilla Alexander Perez Arroyo. Ireland Finley Petrie. Benji Pincus. Ryland Alexander Pincus. Bryce Matthew Poole. Rowan Elizabeth Price. Marcus James Ragsdale. Elizabeth Christine Rice. Seth Miller Richards. Tyler Grant Riffle. Camilo Adon Rivera. Hector Rivera Mariscal. Angelo Sebastian Rivera Ortiz. Madeline Shelby Rollader. Austin Matthew Rowland. Haley Eureka Roldan Paz. Joel Daniel Ruano Martinez. Ava Valentine Russ. Kason Thomas Rushell. Mara Celicia Sanders. Betsy Sandoval. Taylor Lynn Saunders. Zachary Matthew Sedmack. Pamela Sebelveda. Jurgis Raumani Shahada. Emily Ann Sherman. Brandon Leonel Shiflett. Destiny Jane Shoemaker. Blake Auburn Short. Dildora Shukrotova. Isabella Joaquina Silva. Christopher Daniel Smith. Webster Neil Smith III. Alexander Adrian Spanta. John Patrick Spinelli. Zachary Matthew Stee. Brady Austin Tate. Sean Owen Talbert. James David Thornell. Talina Ruth Tibbs. Marcia Tidy. Theodore Townsend. Likat Tong Tran. Linu E. Tran. Peyton Tish Van Dyke. Haley McGuinn Violet. Savannah Reed Vonderhaar. Devin Vaughray. Dynasty Sinise Watson. Madeline Mackenzie Watson. Langston Cornell White. Owen Jacob Winters. Joseph Michael Wolf. Omar Yasub. Audrey Rita Yan. Nancy Deborah Young. Delvin Zelaya Benitez.
Yo!
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. No, you're okay. While they process back and get their last few pictures taken, we will do a big round of applause for the class, I promise. Just hold on. We will in just a minute, once they're all back at their chairs. It takes a team effort to get students to this moment and to coordinate a graduation ceremony. Thank you to several members of our team for their work over the past few days, weeks, and years. Thank you to Mr. Cameron and Mrs. Salas, our graduation coordinators. Thank you to our agriculture program students and teachers who ensure this is a beautiful venue for the ceremony. Thank you to our support staff, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, and administrators who help keep students on track every day. And thank you to the faculty, counselors, and itinerants who are incredibly generous with their time and unrelenting in their efforts to engage and inspire. Their efforts helped ensure these students would graduate today and be prepared for a thriving future. Sing out loud. Could we please have a big round of applause for the class of 2024? I do have one more thank you. Welcome to Brentsville. I do have one more thank you, and that is this. Parents, thank you for sending and entrusting us with these incredible young adults. And a special thank you to the parents who welcome me in the stands and in the audience and let me sometimes be just a parent. Class of 2024, here we are, the culminating moment of years of hard work. Although you have plans, your future is in fact a mystery. In theater terms, in the sentiments of one of your classmates, your life is a set where you are the writer, the director, and the actor. So although your future is a mystery, we believe you will do great things. Good luck with all your pursuits, and remember, we will always be tigers together. Will the class of 2024 please rise? As principal of Brentsville District High School, with the authority trusted in me by the Commonwealth of Virginia and the Prince William County School Board, it is my sincere pleasure to certify that the Brentsville District High School class of 2024 has fulfilled the requirements for graduation outlined by the Virginia Department of Education. I therefore declare you the class of 2024 graduates of Brentsville District High School. Graduates, you may now turn your tassels. Congratulations. And off we go. Please feel free to meet your seniors on the field or out at the track as they recess from the stadium.
Good job, Kat. Good job.
Your speech was so good. It's tradition. That's right, it's tradition. So good. It's so good. Thanks for having me.